right, man, we got the final word. Let's go, man. Wake up, man.
Let's get it, man.
We got Law back from California.
Yo.
It never rains in Southern California.
No doubt.
My boy Big singing. Man, what in the world is going on?
Hey,
Game James, my
I
dog.
can try. I got a little bit of blow sometimes.
Oh,
I got a little bit.
no.
I got, yeah, I do. I promise you. It's on the low though.
Yeah, it's one of those like when you're in church when everybody can blend you out. One of them type voices.
Yep. Yeah, something like that. It go deep.
Right on, bro. Right on. Yeah, man. So day 10.
John only said some things about the McGovern. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That right, Law? He said something.
Yeah.
What I've been talking about, huh?
Sure, you've been talking about on the front end. You first. Hey, he first.
I ain't want to hear that.
Yeah. Sure, you first with it, man.
Hey, I want to say one thing too, man, real quick.
We talked about it last year though, for real.
Yeah. I love when my dog first with it, man.
Say, listen,
We talked about it last year.
I love it when you got that mic, Law, man, because boy, Mike, you coming through. Boy, you coming through good right now, bro.
Man, appreciate you, big dog. You know.
Oh yeah, bro. And he got the buttons.
Training camp. Better than training camp.
Oh, y'all were struggling to listen to me at training camp, huh?
Boy.
Training camp, Mike.
Yeah.
Oh,
we
my
used to
goodness,
this.
man.
We used to this, bro.
Right.
Was what I was
That other
sounding
was
like.
like-
I played
that
it
other-
back.
it was-
I thought I was sounding
You would
okay.
sound like a robot.
Yeah. It was kind of like.
Hey, do it twice. Do that twice. It was that. It was that twice. Yeah, there you go. That's what it really was right there.
I thought I was spitting some.
Dracarys.
Oh no! Ooh.
Oh, he got something new.
Dracarys.
This dude get a new thing every day. You just be at home finding fire. You just be sitting at home, just sitting at home like, what's new 20 new things can I add?
But you know how I go.
Like, this motherfucker don't miss.
No, he's good.
That motherfucker don't
He
miss,
don't.
man.
He's good.
Don't miss.
In the heat of battle,
He
he don't
don't
miss.
miss.
In the heat of
He don't
controversy, he don't miss.
He don't miss.
Yeah, that's you, big game, James. Sure. Hey, Conor McGovern, he ain't folding up like a wallet.
Hey, I tell him, man. I tell him, leave that man alone. He gonna be an asset. If you kept him away from trades, you better use him.
Right. But can you use them? I don't know. But
Hey, if Tyler B. Addison's getting beat up at that center, I'm trying to tell you, dog, if you put him at center, it really might work. Now, I'm going to keep it real. We had already talked about a top 5 lineup, and Conor McGovern was already in the center with me, Boss, and OC. We had a perfect lineup, and it was last year, like mid-season, and Conor McGovern was the center.
Shout out to Dak, not done yet.
You don't remember that, Boss?
That's a dope name.
I don't.
You right.
Because it was when we were talking about Leo Collins and moving him to guard. And we were saying
I do now. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we was talking about him playing it at Penn State.
Yep. He was saying our perfect lineup was Terrence Steele at right tackle, Zach Martin at right guard, Conor McGovern at center. This one, Leo Collins was here. Leo Collins goes back to left guard, and Tyron Smith at left tackle.
Right.
That was the ultimate lineup we were talking about. But we already talked about him at center for real. Hey, it's just really been Joe Philbin been acting goofy. You just heard Shane, he said they weren't totally on board with the pick, man. See what I'm saying? Goofy.
No doubt.
Well, I can't wait
You right
to
on
talk
it, big
about it.
game.
My Cowboys family in the house. I see you.
That's my crew. My
Man, good people right there, man. Good people. What's up, fam?
They came to Dallas, man, and showed me a good time.
Boy, I ain't gonna never forget. I talked to them for like 5 hours. Straight football.
A full family crew.
Full family. What's up?
I wish they live in Dallas, man.
Boy. Yeah. And my boy Big. All right, man. So, let me see. So we talked about the McGovern on that Twitter. Let me see.
Should talk about what that. You know what? Before we get off,
John
here,
Gilkey.
if you play that one. If you play that one clip, I'll be happy, man. Today.
Which one? The dog?
No.
Wait a minute. No.
The one I posted from that Good Morning Football.
What did they say, man? I saw you hit that.
That was real. What he's. I mean, listen. I don't listen to that show ever, and I don't.
Oh, I got the clip
on there. Was Nate Burleson. I love when Nate Burleson was on there because Nate Burleson was good. But I ain't never listened to them other guys like that. But I don't care what anybody say, except the last part, what he said about Ezekiel Elliott, about 24th. No, that was wrong. That was totally wrong. But that first part of what he was saying, it was true. I don't care. Okay. It was right.
What do you say? What do you say?
I would play it, but I think I might get a copyright.
No, you can play the audio. You play the audio, but you can't play the vision.
Play the audio. Yeah,
okay.
Don't play the vision.
Give me a second to pull it. Y'all talk about it real quick, Big, and I'll pull it. All right.
So basically, this is something. I just happened to see. I don't, like I said, I don't never watch that show ever. Nothing. I don't never try to give it no credence, no nothing like that. And I don't even be hyped on them dudes. But I just happened to see it, and see what he was saying right quick. And when I just heard him start talking, and it was just like when he was like, okay, yeah, every time we open, there's 32 other teams, 30 some other teams, we open up with the Dallas Cowboys. What they done, you know what I'm saying? We always talking about Cowboys, this Cowboys, that was basically. And he was just basically saying, they talking about they all about Super Bowls, but they not. He said the team that they played in the Super Bowl been to Super Bowl 3 more times since they've been there. He said they ain't been to an NFC championship, obviously, and they're like one of 6 teams that hasn't been. He's talking about the Jaguars, the Panthers, those teams, and 3 playoff wins in 25 years. I mean,
hey, I got it, Big. I can play it.
You got it?
Yeah.
Play it.
You ready?
Play the audio.
All right.
Play that.
Number one
audio
offense
up
in the NFL last year. In a home playoff game, they scored 17 points. And on the last play of the game, Dak walks into a sliding glass door. Like that's why we're here. And this is perfect of my exasperation with the Dallas Cowboys and their coverage on this show and others. We start the show with just a Mad Libs generic quote from Jerry Jones that there's nothing about that quote that identifies it as this team. It could be any team for the last 15, 20 years, the Dallas Cowboys. And so could this Cowboys team. You have a very famous quarterback who's very good, but not one of the great ones. You have a famous wide receiver with a really cool name. You got a couple defensive stars, a head coach who gets pecked at, and the owner who's just talking and talking and talking. And this is why it bothers me, because 32 teams in camp, and we're like, can the Cowboys, I guess, will they? And because what always grinds my gears is this BS sentiment that is attached to the Dallas Cowboys about we're all about Super Bowls. No, you're not. The last time they were in a Super Bowl, Diana Ross was the halftime show.
Hey!
The last time the Cowboys were in a Super Bowl, on the radio call was Jack Buck and Hank Stram. That's the last time. They played the Steelers in that Super Bowl. Since then, the Steelers, who are about Super Bowls, have been back 3 times. In that time, the Cowboys, the Super Bowl Cowboys, have won 3 total playoff games, meaning the Cowboys are one of just 6 teams in the whole league in that time to not even make it to a conference title game. The Jaguars have been to one. The Bears have been to one. The Panthers have been to one. It's just, will it be different? It's Groundhog Team to me every single time.
You've compared them to vodka soda in the past.
Have I?
You have.
I don't remember.
And saying that, it's always there. It's intoxicating. But, at the end of the day, is anyone, vodka soda was what you've called that.
It really gets me
times.
going.
And it's
you put a lime in it, it's crazy. And it's just, 2 other teams in their own division have been to multiple Super Bowls. I think the Eagles and Giants have been to 5. So we're sitting here, 2022, it's 7:07 a.m. on whatever day it is today, Tuesday, and it's like, Jerry says we got to do better this year. Give me any evidence that they will. They're going to win the whole thing. They're going to get to it's nothing personal. It's just I serve the audience here, and I still have this adoration of the Cowboys as
the
this
cream version
American
of Big Game James, baby.
Emmett Smith, who's now 52 years old, and their parents. And look, there's 31 other teams, and I think they probably got a better shot. So good luck, Cowboys. But like, I just go by the facts.
I think their owner likes it that we're talking about him right now.
God, man.
Des Bryant was the same guy, same number, same deal. Like, it just didn't get it done. Ezekiel Elliott maybe has the worst contract in all of football. And
now
he has
that part,
contract because Jerry Jones, the guy that we love,
part
said, I got to have Zeke here, and I got to sell jerseys. I'm going to jump in the kettle. He makes $30 million this year, and he's like the 24th best running back in the league, maybe, including the second best on the Cowboys. So it's great. I love Jerry Jones.
Shut up,
Mr. Jones.
I don't agree with that end part where you talk about Ezekiel at that end. Now, I don't agree with that part. But I don't care. The majority of what he said in that very beginning, it is. I mean, we talk about Dallas every year that we're going to do this and do that. We get excited like we're getting excited right now. And, yes, we got players. But, dog, when we see these same things over and over again, I'm sorry. Too many times we fall short. Too many times we get hyped up. And too many times, you know, there's this hype is like that, oh, we're just going to do all these miraculous things. And as I said before, where's the Cowboys showed that we can overcome adversity and rise to the top? They haven't shown it. So what's to lead me to believe that this year that they're going to rise above the top? And it's not like they took a big step back. Yeah, we lost Amari Cooper. But where's this going to tell me that, like you said, they've gotten better, and it's just going to make me think that they're going to rise above? Show me, like I said, 2 playoff wins in a row. I don't care about this regular season. I even said they were going to be 12-5. You know what I mean? I said they're going to be 12-5. So it's not like I came in like doom and gloom, 8-9 season, we ain't going to make the playoffs. I said they still going to have the talent to be a 12-5 team, and I still said they'll be a back-to-back NFC champion. But what does that matter if you don't do nothing in the playoffs?
Right.
Man, big game, James. I think that the hardest thing is to see what the Cowboys did with their fortunes. And by going out there getting Dave Campo for multiple years and then having Parcells to be the truth here and for him to get out of the picture and to keep Jason Garrett. I'm not even talking about Wade Phillips, but Jason Garrett for all of those years been pretty much the issue with all of the bad warts of minds of opinions with this team. And I think that this will be hard to wash away because we are being put into a box. Jason Garrett was here for over a decade. Collectively, I think it was like 12 to 13 years if you include the offensive coordinator battleship. So we as fans have been robbed of the opportunity because we've been gifted talented teams, but the only problem been that we had Jason Garrett, and now that we look at it, I get it. Mike McCarthy first year, come on, we had to expect not for us to go to the Super Bowl his first year when it would have been technically the second year ever for what's the guy, Kellen Moore to call offense, for us to think that he's going to take that team with him as the second year ever calling plays to win the Super Bowl, and then just last year, the third year ever. So it takes time for these guys to get to their level, and the Jones family being a part of it, and it's hard to erase it. I know it sounds like a bevy of excuses, Big Game James, but there's no way in your mind that you would think that this team is the same team we've seen out of the administrations of Jason Garrett. I get it. We came short, like the dude said. We got hit in the face with the sliding door, what have you, but you got to look at this team as being different. I truly believe that we can make it back-to-back to playoff appearance.
Would you tell me what is different from this team that's going to – so you feel in this year 3 of Mike McCarthy, they're going to the Super Bowl. They have this – because remember when we had that question, we had that question. So you feel like this is a Super Bowl caliber team. They are Super Bowl worthy. They're going they're within the top 2 teams of a Super Bowl.
I truly believe what Anthony Barr said. He selected this team because he feels that they are contenders. I truly believe out of the NFC,
they're definitely contenders.
We definitely contenders. Name me 4 teams right now that's better than the Cowboys. And the NFC.
I won't do that. I'm not saying that.
Right.
I'm not saying that at all. here's the thing. What I'm saying, Law. See, you're saying that team is different. Now, this team is different. All right. I'm gonna remember you said that.
True. True.
Okay. I remember you said that this team is different.
I mean, this team is absolutely
8, 9,
different.
No. On 8/9/2022. I remember you said this team is different. Okay, because I don't think it is.
I tell you what I can tell you from what I was able to see, that I understand it's been a long stay of us being in that mediocrity, being
right.
8-8 mediocre team or what have you. But that's all what embodied from Jason Garrett. That's all what he's been in his entire life, right? He never been on a winning team outside of holding the clipboard.
But they still have Kellen Moore, who's from the tree.
He's from the tree, but also
So he's
now
still
they
attached.
have Mike McCarthy, who's
But
attached
Mike
to
McCarthy
what?
gives it over to Kellen Moore.
So excuse me. So should Dan Quinn have any impact to this as far as levels of success?
What
Don't he
impact
come
does
from
he
a winning
have?
franchise and an
He comes
organization?
from a winning franchise, but we're talking about Kellen Moore, and you said Jason Garrett. We're still feeling the ill wills, and we need to get past it. We can't get past it when you still got Kellen Moore in the building. And then when you still hear Mike McCarthy saying, I'm not doing no play calling, I'm going to still let Kellen Moore do this. You just had Boss Cowboys make a video saying we don't still have an identity on this offense, and it still has those Jason Garrettish and Linehan-ish ways. So you tell me how I'm supposed to feel that this is going to be a different season, Law.
Well, I wish that my guy, I was, because we do everything freestyle, Cowboy Nation. I wish, and I know that it's coming from the mouth of Jerry Jones, but he himself was on NFL Network, and he said, hey, one thing that I did learn from the previous playoff game that we lost to was physicality. And remember, Mike McCarthy nudged Jerry and said, remember the playoff game. We need physicality. We need to bring that to the table. And they starting to bring the physicality now, all through this season.
Wait. Let me get down to this, Law. I want to make sure I'm hearing you right. Are you saying that we going to make the Super Bowl?
I'm saying, look, my expectations was this right here. I literally said that I'm not finna say Super Bowl, Law. I want us to get back to the playoff, win us one playoff game, and then I'm gonna start my expectations over from there.
So
I'm
basically, you and Big Game are just the same then.
We are just the same, but I just view it differently. Just like right now, you guys can't see that I got a cup in my hand, but if I raise it up, you can see it. I just look at it from a different perspective.
I think y'all look at it just the same. Y'all are no different, bro. Because Big
we are
saying,
no different. You don't want to leap out there and say what I'm saying. I feel you. You don't want to.
Y'all not different. Y'all are saying the same thing. This is what Big is saying. Big is saying, I know we gonna have a good season. I feel like we gonna make the playoffs. I'm not drinking no Kool-Aid on Super Bowls with our history. That's what I'm hearing. And you saying the same thing, Law. You saying we gonna take it one game at a time.
I asked you, Law. I said, you think this is a Super Bowl team? We going to the Super Bowl. You
right.
Said, I don't want to do that. See, you jumped
wait a minute.
Real quick. You jumped away from that fire when I threw it to you. I threw it at Yo got fire. I said, Yo got fire. Yo got fire. Yo got flame. I threw it at you. And you said, well, I don't know about this.
Well, with that being said, 12-5 is our floor, Big Game, James. Look, there's no way in life that you thought that 2014, no way in the world you thought that team would make it to the playoffs nor win a playoff
but I ain't
game.
talking about no 2014. I got higher expectations now. This is 2020. I don't want to hear no more of that noise of this is a different team. You was at training camp and everything's different. We done heard it's different for 75,222 years. I don't want to hear no more of that. This is different. This is a different team. This is going to be a more physical team. This is going to be a team that's going to do things that it's never done before. I don't want to hear that no more, dog. I don't want to hear that crap no more.
When in the off season that you heard that Jason Garrett said, hey, we're going to match the physicality. We're going to bring more physicality to the table.
They run the ball. That's what they've been known by. That's what Jason Garrett did. They ran the ball being physical. Run the ball with Ezekiel Elliott. That's being physical. Kellen Moore didn't even run the ball.
Big Game James, they said all of that. But they didn't pick up starting to run the ball until 2014. Remember, we was pounding the table saying you had DeMarco Murray.
How we gonna
I have a feeling.
You just said we were getting physical, Law, and we ain't been physical with Kellen Moore since now. Now, all of a sudden, we physical now with Kellen Moore. I'm just saying, you feel like we physical now because we ain't been physical with Kellen Moore as the offense coordinator. And I ain't hating on him because I've been on this team. But what I'm just saying, we ain't been physical. So and we know we ain't been physical because too many teams have smacked us in the mouth. So now we're gonna smack teams in the mouth. Is that what you feel?
Well, when I go back and you watch the first half, yes, I think so, because the Philadelphia Eagles talked about they beat Dallas and all of these things. They had T-shirts, and if you go back and watch that game, when they had Terrence Steele at right tackle and when they had that front five all pretty much intact, who was the most physical team on that day? Who was the most physical team? Because the Eagles thought, and I know it's the Eagles.
Hey, man, both of y'all shut the up, man. All right. God, dog, man. Both of y'all getting on my nerves. God, man, y'all killing me right now. I swear to God, man. Like, shut up, man. I don't want to hear nothing about no more Kool-Aid. I'm sick of it. All right, real quick. Let's go to this depth chart. I'm just messing with y'all, man. You know I got all the respect for the homies. Just messing with y'all. Hey, check this out. I want to go over this unofficial depth chart real quick and just kind of freestyle it with y'all. So what's y'all thoughts just looking at this depth chart, man? It could be offense, it could be defense. I got something that's standing out to me.
This is my first time peeking at it, but go ahead.
All right. So the first thing that's peeking out to me, y'all should already know what's peeking out to me. Come on now. It should be easy to know.
Doris Armstrong.
Man, nah. Nope. You know. No. What's peeking out is that middle linebacker. Y'all should have already known that.
But you said LVE was bringing the wood. That's what you told me.
Right. I said he brought the. I said he brought the wood one play. He did bring the wood on one play. See, but don't mess with me though. Don't mess with me.
If he bring the wood on that one play versus a first round draft pick.
Okay.
66 at left guard right there. That makes an eye opener right there. And it goes back to my guy Big Game James. I'm seeing 66 the starting left guard. Can you put it back up there for me, please?
Nah, I'm finna put up something else real quick before we go back to the depth chart. I'm gonna put up this from today. Look at LVE and look at Harper. There's a big difference between the two. Because I was going to highlight this as Harper, right? I already checked this out. That boy Harper went in there with some stain. Compare 50 to LVE. Look at 50. Kill McGovern. Kill McGovern.
Yeah.
You see it, Big?
He knocked his head. Look
at that. Now, and then look at LVE. Totally different, dog.
Didn't Tyler Smith throw him to the ground or something?
Oh
said,
my!
I don't want that. He said, I don't want that.
Say, listen. So
hey, play that. Wah, wah, wah,
that's exactly what that was on LVE, bro. That was just straight boo boo. So I could go back to that depth chart, but before we go back to that depth chart, I want to show another angle. Ooh, who's the real killer linebacker on this play? Tell me. Huh?
He wants it. Yeah.
Man, that boy Harper.
None of that.
That boy Harper. I said, ooh.
Hey, you was on him though, boss. You was on him saying he was physical. He was a physical guy. He was a guy that he stuck his nose up in there and knocked you around.
Ooh.
Like that.
Say,
and he's speedy too, ain't he?
Say, listen, and everybody was talking about Bland on this play. Watch Harper feet. Watch Harper. Ooh, y'all got Harper messed up, man. Everybody talking about Bland. Look at Harper, the linebacker.
Yeah, that was nice. You see how the base? You see his base? Watch
Yes.
Bam. He was on them toes.
Ooh, y'all got Harper messed
Yeah, that was nice.
up.
That was
So
nice.
when I go back to this depth chart,
preseason work.
man, listen. So when I go back to so now I'm back to the depth chart. So looking at that middle linebacker, look who behind.
Jabril Cox? Are we serious?
Yeah.
Are we serious?
I don't want Jabril Cox anywhere within the box. But
no,
yeah, I like him better detached from the box.
In Hades.
Right.
Yeah.
Should he be middle linebacker?
Talk about it, big.
Like, no way in Hades. I mean, for real, y'all, you seen it closer than me, Law. He's still rehabbing from that knee. Like,
right.
When I'm watching that knee, I don't know. I'm not saying nothing wrong with it, but it looks like he's still got a little bit ways to come back. It don't look like it's fluid. It looks like he may be kind of nervous with it. It looks like he might be a little tentative sometimes with it.
Yep.
I worry about that because, ever since he got dinged up, remember he was going good, then he got dinged up. And now he's kind of been kind of tentative, and I worry about that with him. Could it be in his mind this year?
He came out guns a-blazing first, and I think that he was doing too much the first few days. You know how you're able to move around quickly, and he probably bit off more than he can chew.
That's what it looked like.
All of my film assessment on Jabril shows that he's better detached from the box. I like him on the edge. I like him pretty much at that J-Rock role, whereas he got C-gap and some middle responsibility, but more so trailing and finding the tight end up the seam. I don't like him in the middle of the field, the change of directions, the responsibility to call out plays and things like that. And just to double back to the other point, that's the same thing that I feel with Harper. I don't like Harper in the middle of the field. I like him on the edge. I like him blitzing. I love showcasing his speed and his ability to flip his hips, but not necessarily in the middle of the field, whereas as a rookie, calling out plays, diagnosing things. I hate to say this, but
that's where you could have got under Kobe Dean.
Yeah, LVE been pretty solid for these days in practice, but LVE is, in my opinion, is the guy that they're gonna give the opportunity to until Anthony Barr comes up to speed.
Look at Devin Harper, man.
4.4 speed, yeah, he fast, fam.
Vertical, and see that's what we saw when he took on McGovern.
Oh, yeah,
see that vertical, that's an indication of explosion.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's no surprise when you go look at that much speed with that much vertical, meaning he has a lot of power in his legs. That's why he almost knocked McGovern's head off. He literally almost knocked McGovern's head off. This is a linebacker, number 50, versus a guard that was also at fullback with a full head of steam. Just look at it. McGovern had steam. You know what I'm saying? He just had more steam. So yeah, I think LV go get the first tick at it. I do. But if Harper keep coming like that, bye-bye, LV.
What about Roquan Smith? What would you spend any capital for him?
I haven't researched him in Chicago enough to know.
What about your draft tape on him? Go ahead.
I was low on him. Everybody else was high on him. I was low on him.
BGJ
said. Why would we even talk about that when you know daggone well they're not going to spend no kind of draft capital on no linebacker? They're not going to do something like that. So that's not even a question they even thought about. I mean, yeah, he's got talent, but when we hear stuff like that and it's a young linebacker, you know what they're going to say? We like our young guys and we have Damone Clark. And we feel like he's going to be the type of guy that could be a Roquan Smith if they'll say it to you like that. So there's no way in heck because they have Jabril Cox, they have Damone Clark, they feel good about those guys, and they want to raise them up, and they ain't going to touch anything like that. So that wouldn't even be a discussion. They wouldn't even think about using a draft pick on him.
All right, we've been hogging my boy OC in the house, man.
Oh, OC.
My bad, OC. What's up, OC?
No, man, listen, man, I'm enjoying this. No, I'm enjoying listening to you guys argue. This has been really great. So, but y'all haven't said one thing that I wanted to hear one of y'all say, and y'all haven't said it yet. And so I'm gonna go ahead and say, What's the real reason that we signed Anthony Barr?
Because we don't trust LVE. That's what I say.
Yeah, because we want to put LVE officially in the dirt.
Yeah,
we want to bury
Dan Quinn.
We want to put him in the dirt.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on here, right? You got Barr and you got Harper. Look, listen, you got Barr. As soon as he's ready to go, he learns his playbook and they feel like, he's wherever he needs to be. And then you're going to have Harper. That's the future of the next at least couple of years for the Dallas Cowboys from this middle linebacker position. LVE pretty soon is going to be gone.
Hold on real quick. Wait.
Stop it.
Jacaris.
Ooh, I love that Jacaris, man. God dog. So listen, bro. Listen.
But just remember.
What? All right. Listen, bro.
Just remember.
Yeah. Straight business.
Bro.
This is the issue, OC.
Okay.
Why then do they have the middle linebackers LVE, Jabril Cox, but then they put Barr behind Micah on this depth chart?
Because, man, in my opinion, some of this stuff is a little bit bait and switch, right? This is not final. And notice at the top of this whole document it says unofficial, right? Unofficial. Right? Unofficial. That's the key word, right? Mm-hmm. So some of this stuff is just to give us, guys like us, right, and the local media, things to talk about and argue about, just like we're doing right now, right? This is not real. We know that Jabril Cox is nobody's middle linebacker.
No.
He wasn't a middle linebacker. He wasn't a middle linebacker in college.
No.
He's not playing middle linebacker.
Yeah.
So, boss Cowboy, me and you both know, bro. Me and you both know.
So what was that? Because that is too obvious. You know what I'm saying? That's where they made it too obvious, bro. When they showed that linebacker depth chart, I said, bro, ain't no way. It's another thing that's standing out real quick, and then we can go around a circle with it. Because obviously, you're right. That linebacker's a smoke screen, no doubt. Look at what they did at receiver, dog. Why is Michael Gallup even in the starting lineup at all?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this though. Let me ask you this before you jump over to the wide receivers offense, man.
All right, cool.
You know I'm a defense guy.
All right, let's go.
Honestly, who outside of Parsons, who have true Mike linebacker skill sets?
Oh, that's Anthony Barr. Anthony Barr, easily.
He played off-ball linebacker, right?
And
on the edge,
and both.
On the edge, and he played both.
Yeah. He's both. You know what I'm saying? Easily. Yeah. Yep. Like without.
That's a hell of a gamble, though, huh?
What you mean?
It's a hell of a gamble for a team to go through all, like, look how long it took them to bring Anthony Barr to the table.
Yeah.
Right? And then they still got him on PUP. He's been working the cores. I'm jealous because I didn't get a chance to see him out there on the field. I'm not saying that I have reservations, but when I look back at his last year tape, and I know you guys study it, he played hook to flat. It was pretty good, but I thought that he played more on the edge versus inside, right? It's the inside linebacker for the
he played a lot of inside linebacker, but he also, especially early in his career, played like Micah, where they moved him around a lot.
Right. Yep.
So he's actually the most like Michael in terms of his versatility. That's also why you can trust that he can go right to the middle, and that's why he's also here to protect the queen. That's exactly what he's here to do, in my opinion. Did you have some?
So I see what you're saying. More so of him playing it versus Micah, right?
Yeah, correct. And I think that's how it's go. I think that's how it's gonna play out. The film says it too. Let me pull it up.
No doubt.
And why you
we just have a football conversation, people.
Yeah, they're just a football conversation. Go ahead, OC. While I pull it up.
Yeah, no, I'm saying why you pull that film up, and so here's a couple caveats, right? So if you have, and let me be fair and balanced with my evaluation here. If you have LVE and he turns up, he's physical, he's filling gaps and holes, right? He's doing stuff we ain't seen him really do consistently, except for his rookie year, right? He's doing that, right? Now you have the flexibility to play Anthony in different positions and roles, right? And if LVE's not doing well, right, and Devin Harper continues to come on, as you get deeper in the season, you're going to rotate him more and more at that middle linebacker position, let him get more reps because he's young, he has fresh legs, he's extremely physical, he's a strong dude, and he could run, right? So he's a good athlete. So that gives you more flexibility, especially being a coach like Dan Quinn, to put in different packages and to put in different schemes based upon what happens. But don't make any mistake about it. Anthony Barr is the insurance policy at that Mike linebacker position to be sure that Micah Parsons can be more of a rusher and move around this field and take away the other team's best underneath threat and not be sequestered to having to play that Mike linebacker.
Elaborate on that, OC.
So, I mean, in a greater context, man, when we talked last season, because we talked a lot about the 4-3 under defense, right? And where you had Mike Parsons able to rush. Well, you have that, but if you think about now with a healthy DeMarcus Lawrence, right? A healthy DeMarcus Lawrence, let's just project that Sam Williams plays pretty well, and you throw him into the jet package. You have Osa in the jet package, right? And you have a variety of guys that you could put in there to be blitzers that are speed type, wiggly like guys to put a whole bunch of pressure on opposing offenses. So if you have Harper and, or let's just say for conversation's sake, LVE playing really, really well and just banging and thumping at that middle linebacker, you can go with a whole bunch of different packages and do a variety of things that you wouldn't otherwise been able to do unless you had Anthony Barr in the building. So to you guys' point, he played all over the field early in his career. He played middle, played inside. They did have him kind of rushing, like kind of like a jack guy doing a lot of different stuff. But in this context, I see him mainly as a middle linebacker coming into the building, man, protecting that queen piece like Boss Cowboy tends to say over and over again.
No doubt. This dude said the depth chart is Madden. He said the depth chart is Madden 23. Go ahead,
Let me raise this question to the panel. Wouldn't it make more sense to not even get James Washington nor Dorrance Armstrong? I know him, of course, hindsight is 20/20. But let's say if the Cowboys still picked up Anthony Barr, knowing that what he got signed for, but wouldn't it make perfect sense to spend that money instead of paying Dorrance Armstrong, LVE, and James Washington? And I know he's hurt, and I hate to say this. Would it make more sense to insert a Bobby Wagner instead? Would you take Bobby Wagner and Anthony Barr with the information that you know of Parsons and J-Ron Kearse as that? Would that look better?
Yeah, it would have looked way better. But this is what I think Stephen Jones was thinking, because I always talk about the cap hit for Bobby Wagner this year was only $4 million, but it's a longer term contract, and that's opposite of what Steven wants to do, so he would rather go with a 1-year guy and Barr, have him fill that hole for middle linebacker to be the insurance to keep Micah Parsons free. So yes, Bobby Wagner would have been way better, but we just didn't do it. Now, OC.
The OC.
The film breakdown.
All right, let's see. We got Mr. Anthony Barr here, number 55 for the Minnesota Vikings at the bottom of the screen. Let's notice how he comes out to cover the jet, folds right back inside to tackle the zone inside. So great job by him. And notice how well he moves in space on that play. So
and he playing the middle.
Yep. And here he is covered underneath, and he's trying to strip the ball, and he sits perfectly back in the zone, does his job, makes the tackle. Here he is again, middle linebacker. Let's take a look-see. And listen, you're going to see a guy of his age and experience just move extremely well, very fluid, out in the flat, cover responsibility, doing what he has to do. And I mean, man, just overall, hey, making plays, man. Got the ball right there. So he's doing just a fantastic job. Now you'll see his ability to come forward on this particular play. So you see him run inside out, inside out, inside out. There he is. I mean, he closes. I mean, for his age and for the amount of games he's played, man, the dude still has tremendous athleticism and closing speed, in my opinion. So I love the pickup, and that was really smart, waiting him out basically until he's cheap, right? So there he is, blitzing up the gap, creating pressure, and then off we go. So you've seen him use in a variety of ways on this particular front, which Dan Quinn in particular has to love, because how he likes to manipulate schemes and manipulate his player. Here he is getting off of a block, doing a great job, avoiding 2 blocks, being slippery, right? Slipping inside, making that tackle for a short gain. And you see him here again up close to the line of scrimmage. And if you guys want to jump in, you can. You see him in a blitz drop formation. There he is with the pick, being athletic. He blitzes, he drops because of a short pass, picks it, almost takes it to the house. So
hey, the OC, before you go a little bit further into this, can you educate the people on the difference between playing inside linebacker on a 3-4 defense versus playing that micro on a 4 flat defense or a base formation defense, the responsibilities of a linebacker? Because I truly believe in the 4-3 defense that we play versus the 3-4, that Mike, he's going to have more areas to cover versus half. Can you break that down?
Yeah, man, that's a really great question, Law. So if you look at a 4-3 base front, you got mainly that middle linebacker covering flats and underneath, and you got him covering basically what you call the interior gaps, primarily A and B gap, but really he's a sideline-to-sideline guy in the true context of a 4-3. And what you saw on that film kind of demonstrates his ability to run sideline to sideline versus a 3-4 is a little bit different. It's a little bit more schemey versus pure athleticism, although the athletes from a 3-4 perspective, they have to be really good and quick and sleek. It's just a different front. Really, a 4-3 is predicated on your defensive ends and the ability of your 2 defensive tackles to play one gap schemes and your linebackers to be fluid and attack downhill. And Anthony Barr has shown that he's excellent at attacking downhill and being athletic, you know?
Hey, Big, the OC brought up the 4-3 under, and I know you know what that is, and that's basically where you can get Micah, Tank, and then on the right side of the end, I'll basically be able to attack at the same time. I got some film right here. I want you to discuss it, because to me, this was our most powerful practice today, and I'm just observing these guys. Check this out. You got it, Big.
Okay, this is what Micah Parsons on this outside in this speed rush. You got Marcus Lawrence right beside him. You see how the thing that you see right there. Well, you already see what he did to Terrence Steele, but here's the thing. I think they like putting. You see how they got DeMarcus Lawrence right next to him. That's going to stress that offensive line right there when you can see both of those guys coming, because you see what he just did. Who's 63? Was that who's 63? Look what DeMarcus Lawrence did.
That's Tyler Biadasz.
Double team and still split. That's Biadasz still getting split right there. That's the whole purpose of why they want to have Micah Parsons, and that's why DeMarcus Lawrence has to be healthy this year. Y'all feel me?
Yep.
That's why he has to be healthy, because they created that. You saw, remember in the Tampa Bay game where you saw where they were lining up Micah Parsons already with that, and DeMarcus Lawrence playing that D tackle, playing that 3-tech. Remember how they were liking them two next to each other? That was the big thing that they lost early in the season, them two playing each other, because as soon as they put them two together, now you can't. Who are you going to double team?
That doggone shoulder dip. That shoulder dip on
both of them dudes.
That's why Conor McGovern need to be in there.
It Mr. Nasty time.
Say, bro, listen. I don't think people understand, bro. You can watch either one. And you can watch either one, dog, and you can see that work that both of them put in that offseason. I don't care which one you focus on. If you focus on Micah, you like, oh my God. And then if you focus on Tank, you still gonna be like, oh my God. It don't matter who you looking at. Facts, Law. Facts.
Some fire right there, man.
Fire.
Bro.
Yoga flame.
These dudes together, who's gonna stop this, dog?
It's just impossible
stay healthy,
to stop,
dog.
man.
He's got to stay healthy, though. But like I said, dog, I'm going to just say this about DeMarcus Lawrence. This needs to be your 10-sack season. You ain't hit them 10 sacks. I know it ain't about sacks, but daggone it. If we just seen that in practice, right, and you got Micah going all world, and Micah's going to help you get sacks. Can we not agree on that, all that, fellas? Micah's going to help DeMarcus Lawrence get sacks.
Oh, yeah.
So this is definitely a year that if it was ever, a year, where this defense was taking that next step, right, DeMarcus Lawrence has to get a 10-sack season, in my opinion, for this defense to be that all-world defense that we're feeling in our heart that it could be. DeMarcus Lawrence has to be that type of guy, in my opinion.
Let me raise a question to the OC since we got him in the building. And this is going to be an offensive line question. You know, as a tackle, you have a 4-3 guy, and you know that you got to do certain things with your sets. Can you break down that play? And if you can do this on the fly, Boss, this would be fantastic.
What's
if
that?
you can slow motion it again, let the OC break down Steele and what's going on in his mind, because he still have to help out some of the B gap, right? He can't just widen his stands out too much, right? Because he got D-Law right there. What's his game plan? Talk to us, man. Educate.
Well, the game plan is to try to keep Micah from doing what he did, which he did anyways, just running around and making him look like a fool, right? I mean, that was the game plan. It didn't work. But so, I mean, the only thing that Steele can do in this situation, when you're facing an elite guy that's just so much faster than you, you got to get depth. And the issue right there is he got whipped and he got whipped, right? So he lost with his hands.
Because Zach Martin just look at him.
He tried to basically do a wide set, like a 45-degree angle set versus Micah Parsons, which is a no-no because Micah Parsons has athletic hips. He can dip and rip. So he pulled him, he ripped under, which caused Tyron Steele to just open up and look like he's trying to chase him from behind, which is a recipe for disaster. In the real game, that would have been a sack fumble. You know what I'm saying? So what you want to do is get depth. So notice how his heels are clicking. You see how he opens his shoulders toward the sideline?
Yeah, I see
That's a no-no.
Yeah.
The shoulders are toward the sideline. That's a no-no. You got to get straight back still. You got to give those kicks you did at the beginning of the year. That's a better slide. That's a better kick. But the dude is fast. He dips under you. So what needs to happen here is that he has to really work hard off that inside hand to try to get a punch off on Micah Parsons and knock him off of the path. So he does nothing. You see how his hands are down? That's bad. His hands are bad there. He does nothing to knock Micah Parsons off of his rush path. You have to knock Micah Parsons. He misses with the hands right there, and Micah Parsons just beats him and rips and gets underneath. But on this one, he gets better depth, right? But he's carrying his hands too low, right? He gets better pausing. All right, go running back. Yeah. So on that particular play, he gets better depth, right? But right now, when Micah gets close, you got to get a punch off. You got to fire up a shot on Micah, and you got to hit Micah hard on the shoulder to knock him off of the path. But if Micah dips underneath, makes him miss, being a super athlete, and gets the sack anyway. So Micah Parsons is going to be a really, really tough out for anybody, man. It's just going to be tough. If he's one-on-one with you, man, more than 5-6 snaps, man, he's going to come up with more than 5 or 6 snaps. He's probably going to get 2 sacks. He's just one of those dudes. He's a tough out. But technically, Steele just needs to be a little bit better with his hands, a little bit better with his sets. He'll be okay. The good news is this, guys. He doesn't have to play against Micah Parsons every week, but he does have the benefit of practicing against Micah Parsons to make himself better. So,
real quick, I got to step in real quick because I want to say something, OC, to be honest with you. Yep. I love all the coaching you talked about, Big Dog, but I'm going to be honest, man. I just think Micah is too good. I don't think Steele is bad. I think Micah is just too good because when you break it down from the other side, there's something that you see that's extraordinary, and I want you to help me out with this, OC. Watch the speed change on Mike. He already go come off of that line real fast, but watch he actually dip that punch and accelerate coming out the dip. So watch it real close. Watch him accelerate. You see that, dog? He accelerates turning the corner. There is no stopping that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Who gets faster as they're turning? That's almost against physics, dog.
Physics right there.
Okay,
I'm
but look. Can I jump in here real quick?
Yeah.
Dive in there, man.
There's nothing like you said,
minister
Terrence,
of defense.
can do about that. I'm just saying, there's nothing you can do about that. And not just that, because it looks like to me, Micah's playing with him now because that's what Micah is doing to these players. See, Micah is a smart defensive player.
With him.
So what he did was, you see what he did with them hair movements where he got still off of him?
Yeah.
He came back and looked at him like, okay, I know he's going to be thinking I'm going to do my hands like that again. So now
he dipped him. Right.
He just dipped him. And so now he's playing with him. So he is watching Steele and he's getting the beat on Steele and he's like, I'm in Steele's head. And he is in Steele's head. You can tell he's in Steele's head.
Right.
You can tell exactly
he's just too good.
So that's what he's just too good. He is a guy that once he does one move on you, he's like, okay, now I'm gonna try this move on. And he's gonna be doing this. I was saying this on my Twitter, boss, and OC and Law, that he's gonna be doing this in the game, like playing with these dudes. He's like, you know what? I just tried this move 3 times in a row. I'm gonna just try this to see if I can get it off.
I swear to God,
actually be doing this in the game because he's that good.
I see the same thing, bro, because that first move that he did was this one. You know what I'm saying? Then he changed it up and used the dip. He used the dip and bend. The first one was the hands. You know what I'm saying? The second was the dip and bend, bro. Like, he changing up. This is chess, dog. This is freak chess, dog. That's what we looking at. OC, but you sound like there's an answer for it. Is it really an answer, dog?
There is an answer to some degree, yes, and then some degree, no. You know, so, I mean, I'm gonna be honest.
That's
it's some degree, yes, and it's some degree, no, right? Because here's the deal: some dudes are just so top end elite closing speed, and when you see the dip, that's vintage Von Miller.
Right.
Von Miller is one of the first guys, and Von Miller is double jointed. So Von Miller could run full speed, dipping down with his hip and run off of one leg. Like, it's the ability to basically run and turn off of one leg, because you're dipping and rushing your right tackle. You think about this. You're running and you're dipping down. You're running off of one. Just like he's stepping over those bags and cones, he's accelerating off of one of his legs and gaining speed, which, you know, is strength-wise, it's great, but athletically, it's freakish, man. And you're only going to have a certain amount of So technique wise, you get depth. You don't miss with your hands. You be great with your hands. You work on fast hands as an offensive lineman and try to slow a dude like this down. You try to get a punch off on this dude and you can stop him. But if you miss with your hands, oh my gosh, it's over. Now, the other thing that you cannot stop is this. Even if you get a punch off on him, when he slides off and accelerates, that quarterback only has a certain amount of time. And if that ball is not out, even if you got a good punch off on a dude, he still go finish hard and get a sack if that quarterback passed that ball. So it's tough, man. It's tough.
Hey, let me ask you this though, all three of y'all: can the Cowboys get pressure by rushing 3?
Hell yeah!
Ooh, this gonna be kick city around this motherfucker.
As long as you got Micah. Hey, I want to ask y'all this right now. I want to ask all y'all this right now, because we did this on my Best of Enemies podcast, and I jumped out there and said this. I said, Micah Parsons, I said Aaron Donald's number 1, but the second best defensive player in the league right now is Micah Parsons, and he could probably overtake Aaron Donald this year.
Hey man, I got no rebuttal to that.
Let me see.
And by them ranking Jalen Ramsey so high,
I'm taking him over TJ Watt.
Hell yeah!
I would actually say what you said was perfectly measured Kool-Aid. Perfect.
Hey, measured Kool-Aid. Y'all write that down.
And the only reason why he ain't number 1 because he was only a rookie last year.
That's the only reason.
Right.
And
big game.
That's the only reason.
Facts, man.
I'm gonna push back a little bit. Okay. I'm gonna push back a little bit.
Wait, OC.
Whoa,
I got it. OC with the. Go ahead, OC. Go ahead. Break it down, OC.
Come on, OC. Come on,
listen. I love. Okay, let me just start off saying I love Micah Parsons. I think that he is, barring health injuries and bad decisions, he's a Hall of Fame. Okay, barring health and just making some bad, he's a Hall of Fame type dude. But I think that we underestimate and overlook the greatness of Aaron Donald because Aaron Donald has been a sack leader year in and year out, being double teamed, playing in an interior line position. Nobody has ever done what he's done in the history of the league. Okay, in the history of the league. So you can do that, but Boss Cowboy, Aaron Donald is a special phenom player. And what I would say is this: I would say that Micah Parsons has to do what he's doing over a 5 to 6 year period to be able to say, hey, I'm better than Aaron Donald. He just needs more years of doing it. Not that he can't overtake him because he can, but he just needs more years of doing it. I'm just keeping it real, man. He needs some more years.
You know he don't need no 5 years, dog.
No, he don't.
Micah don't need no 5 years. He's that good this year. Because I said the next 5 years, he's going to be a 10-sack guy. I mean, he's going to be a double-digit sack guy for the next at least 5 years. At least. Man, this dude, I ain't even hyping him. But, OC, you feel me? Within 5 years, he's going to be, oh, my God.
Right. I agree, dog.
No, I see him as a 15-sack guy.
Yes, 20-sack guy.
I see him as a 15. I see him as a 15, 20-sack guy. And I'm saying out of respect because Aaron Donald has done this 8 consecutive years,
deep
dog.
Tackle. Right from the deep tackle.
From a deep tackle position, bro.
Right.
That's a tall order.
Yeah,
it's a tall order. It's a tall order
perspective.
But
if this dude get 20, if he get 15 to 17 sacks with now 2 or 3 interceptions, man, it's going to be hard pressed to overlook
like
that.
80 tackles. Let's say this year, OC, right? Let's just say this boss law. Let's say he gets 19 sacks, 80 tackles, 2 picks, like 5 forced fumbles, all kind of pressures. He ain't number 1 defensive player in the league after that.
Yeah, he is. I mean, for the year for sure, man. Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, I mean, you put out ridiculous, outlandish numbers. Those are like fantasy league numbers.
He can do it, yes, man. But he can really do it though. He's the guy that can do it.
I hate to do you, OC. I hate to do you, dog. I hate to do you, dog. I gotta take this, dog.
I'm gonna tear you up
too.
This is gonna be so easy.
I'm gonna tear you up, bro.
I'm gonna just ask you one question that's gonna just end this debate.
No,
if Micah Parsons, just hold on real quick. If Micah Parsons would have been a full-time edge rusher last year, would he have been a defensive MVP?
It's likely.
Okay, so that would have been even over Donald.
Statistically, it's
just
likely.
in pop. Yeah, you see, because he had
it's likely.
You see how I got him stuttering, y'all? Y'all see how I got him stuttering?
I said it's likely. You ain't got me stuttering. I'm thinking about what you said. I'm giving an answer. I'm giving a real answer to what you said, boss. I have to think about it. Sorry.
I mean, definitely likely because, and ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I want y'all to watch the witness closely. All right, he's been slick over there. I want y'all to watch him closely. Okay, was it harder to do what Parsons did last year, where he got all them sacks without really playing a lot of edge rush and moving all around? What was the degree of difficulty on that, sir? Could you please answer the question?
Oh man,
the degree of difficulty on it, I don't think it was extremely difficult because he's beating tackles one-on-one. I think that what Aaron Donald did is more impressive because he's beating tackles, guards, and centers and double teams consistently throughout an 8-year career. So I think it's more difficult, the sacks that Aaron Donald has gotten, than the sacks we've seen in 1 year with Micah Parsons.
But I wasn't talking about Aaron Donald's sacks. I was talking about the difficulty of what Micah Parsons did in terms of moving around. All that moving around. it makes it hard to get a spot on him. But at the same time, from a digesting the defense, knowing how to be an impact player from one position, he didn't get that privilege, and yet he still was top 3 in defensive player of the year. It was a lot that wanted to give it to him as a rookie
let me interject.
versus vets. So I don't think it's far at all what Big Game James is saying. Big is saying, I'm giving Aaron Donald the crown right now. But I can see Parsons going off so much this year that you have to give the new crown to Micah Parsons. He's not wrong on that, OC. You are.
Let me say this. Let me say this before you go, OC. And this is not me. This is not me just pouring all the Kool-Aid on Parsons. But I truly believe that Aaron Donald, for those 8 years, he's always been surrounded by guys.
True.
Have you ever noticed that?
Facts.
It just hit me that Aaron Donald, one of the most. Now I'm not saying.
No, you telling the truth, Lo. Tell the truth.
But Von Miller, did you guys know that he had 60 pressures last year, double-digit sacks, I believe? And excuse me, Leonard Floyd, he had over 60 pressures last year, and he had 12 sacks. And then you add in Ramsey. That team was loaded around Aaron Donald. And to contextualize,
had Sue. He had Sue before.
Sue, and he had another guy, if I keep getting his name, a couple years back too. So Sue, I mean,
he ain't in there doing everything by himself like the OC trying to act.
Yeah, and I'm not discounting anything from Donald, but it's kind of strange that one of the most fierce, the best player that ever laid eyes on the defensive side outside of Prime. I mean, this dude had a lot of help, and it's not this guy doing it all by himself. I want you guys to say, in a couple years back, he had Fowler and Brocker. Yeah, that's the name I was looking for. I want you guys to know this. The most pressures applied to the quarterback from the Cowboys team, believe it or not, was Parsons. He was the only guy that had north of 60 pressures. The LA Rams, the #1 defense in the National Football League last year, had 3 guys with over 60 pressures.
Oh, God.
That's crazy, man, when
you
look at the numbers.
Can I ask you guys a question? Can I ask you guys a question?
Sure.
All right, and listen, I respect, Law, everything you said, and look, fortunately, Aaron Donald has had some players, but we had. I can't talk now. You got to hit the button even before I talk. You got to hit the button before I talk about Cowboys. Can your boy even talk? Okay. You gonna punch me too. You gonna punch me?
You gonna punch me, man.
You gonna punch me before I even start talking. Okay? So listen. Okay, you'll keep punching. Keep hitting the punch button. Okay, so listen.
They had Clay Matthews too.
Okay. Look, I respect on the downside of his career, by the way, on the very downside, not in his prime. Okay, so. I respect everything you're saying. Micah Parsons has been world-class in his rookie year. He's phenomenal. He's a phenom. He's a world-class, once-in-a-generation talent. No doubt about it. And I think he could be one of the best, if not the best defensive player all time, barring decisions and and preventing injuries. I think he's fantastic. Let me ask this question, though. The last 3 years, 2019, 2020, and 2021, if you guys can look this up, who led the Dallas Cowboys in sacks, and what was the sack number? In 2019, 2020, and 2021, who led the Dallas Cowboys in sacks, and what was the sack number? Please answer the question. Starting with 2019. Huh?
Yeah, Robert Quinn had 11.
Robert Quinn.
Had 11.
Okay. What was the sack total?
12
I think he had 11.
11, yeah.
Okay, you said 2019 he had 11?
Yeah. Yep, he had 11, I believe.
All right, in 2019 he had 11. Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll start right there. We'll keep on going, but let me deal with that one first. 2019, our sack leader had 11, playing the defensive end position. Okay, in 2019, Aaron Donald had 12.5 sacks. He would have been our sack leader from the defensive tackle position, being double teamed every play. Okay, let's continue. 2020, who was our sack leader? Who was our sack leader?
2020.
2020.
That's a weak point. I see what you're doing.
That's a weak point.
That's so weak.
Look,
man, that is a weak point, bro.
Leonard Floyd had 12 sacks last year, and he'd be considered a dog for us right now. You know we had Parsons that had 12 or 13 sacks.
Dante Fowler had 11 sacks and with the Rams.
And we can play that game like this. When David Irvin was at his best, who was better, Aaron Donald or David Irvin? Because guess what? David Irvin was outpacing Aaron Donald on sacks. So are you saying because of the pace of the sacks?
Negative.
No, that's a fact.
I'm sorry.
No, that's a fact, bro. In 2016, David Irvin was I'm sorry, 2017, he was outpacing Aaron Donald on sacks and pressure.
So how many sacks did he end up with, boss?
No, he was outpacing them. That's what I'm saying.
No. Outpace means nothing. How many did he have?
Because he got hurt. It does mean something. You got to go with pace. You got to go with pace, dog. Okay.
How many did he have?
Oh, it's the pace.
He had like 6.
Yeah, and he was killing Aaron Donald.
How many, boss? How many?
7, I don't know.
How many did he have?
Man, he had like 7 to 8, man.
7 to 8.
Somebody said I'm being a Homer Simpson. No, I'm not. I'm not being a Homer Simpson by saying I agree with Big.
If they had Sue inside, how many sacks David Irvin would have had if they had Sue inside?
Right.
With him.
We don't know because we haven't had Sue. We don't know.
That's the point. Aaron Donald had Sue.
We cannot use triangle theories and
yes,
say
we can.
This player had this player next to him, he would have got more than this player.
You can't do that.
Use triangle theories. No, boss, that's wrong.
No, that's right.
Triangle theories to make a point. No.
See, he trying to use big words. He trying to confuse the jury.
Theory. You're trying to say that if this player was this player, he would have had the same production when we don't know that. All we can go on, Boss Cowboy, is what actually happened. And you are the most factual person I know. And you're sitting here trying to sell me this bag of goods about projections. Boss, come on.
And you can't project, bro. It's easy to project. It's easy. Okay, let's make this projection then. No, let's make this projection. We can sometimes project. You acting like you gotta always have. Hold on real quick. You acting like we always gotta have the actual evidence of it playing out to not make assumptions, and that's not true. So we can say this: if Larry Allen, no, hold on, because you saying we can't use triangle theories. You tried to throw out a big word like that was gonna make us back down. We ain't backing down to no big words, especially when it's out of context. Because this is the deal. If we assume, let me finish. If we assume that Larry Allen was our current left guard, we can also assume with a triangle theory that this team will be better. So it's the same theory to say Sue playing besides Aaron Donald made him better. You can triangulate that, sir.
No, sir. I'm saying this. Let's deal with. We don't have to make assumptions. Is what I'm trying to say, Boss Cowboy. Because
no, you said we can't, dog.
No.
You said you can't do that.
Hold on.
Because you said I'm factual.
I'm saying you can't, and I'm saying in this scenario, Boss Cowboy, we don't have to try to make any assumptions because we see the methodology. Go ahead again, boss. I don't care because this is the truth, Boss Cowboy. This man has been playing since 2014, and this man has 98 sacks. Okay, triangle that. Okay, triangle that.
And see, Studi Wood, I know you with the OC on this one. You know why? Because both of y'all yellow skin. I get tired of you yellow skin dudes sticking together. I get sick of it. Yeah, I'm not surprised that Studi Wood is rocking with the OC. That's what y'all do. Every time Studi Wood, you gonna be rocking with the OC, dog. I need you to rock sometimes with the facts, homie. I don't need you rocking with him because he from Houston. Yeah, he's both of y'all from Houston, Cowboy fans. Triangle that.
Jim Jeffcoat got more sacks, baby. Jim Jeffcoat, baby.
All right, man. Let me switch the kicker, dog. I'm going to switch the kicker, bro. God, dog. Woo-wee. My boy Studi Wood laughing. Hey, what's up, dog? Good to see you, big homie.
That was a good segue, man.
That was a good segue, man. All right, check this, bro. We got Brent. It's a lot of panic for nothing. It really is. Because kickers can almost change almost every year, right? And let's look at his performance, and then we can talk about it. With the Cowboys, he only made 80% of his kicks. Okay. He had 36 attempts. He made 29. That is boo-boo fart. Okay? With the Saints last year, in 8 games, he attempted 18. He made 16. That's a totally different kicker than what he was in Dallas. And remember, he also had a big leg. Because I'm seeing a lot of people like, oh! But I'm like, what's y'all thoughts?
Can you pull up Zerline so we can have some contrast of what we did last year as far as the kicking percentage?
I'll pull it up. Go ahead.
And I can tell you, man, if I don't want the games to go down to a kicker, but I'll be, like you say, boo-boo the fool or foolish to say kickers don't matter, because I'm looking at a guy that have 7 Super Bowls, and 3 of the 7 came from the foot of down there in Patriots land. I forgot that name of that kicker, but he was making some kicks, man, in that Super Bowl. Vinatieri, yeah. So with that being said, they need to shore up this early, and they bringing in someone now to give that guy some competitions. And they said since Lyram heard that Brett was on the plane, he haven't missed a kick yet in practice. So Lyram has been praying and saying hallelujah, and they've been going through now.
Yeah. I got Greg up too. This Greg from last year.
Where we at? 80,
right here, 82.
Well, shoot, it's just a hair better than what he was. Well, what was the other guys? He was 80 what?
82.
He was with the Cowboys.
82.
He was 82 as well?
And he 89 last year.
So we splitting hairs, huh?
Yeah. So basically, as of last year, Brent is an upgrade as of last year.
88 versus 82.
Right. Yeah. And we all know he can kick from 70 yards. He got a monster leg. It's just that we need you to be what you was with the Saints with us. That's it.
Ain't no pressure in the Saints.
Good point.
Big
I can't fight facts, dog. I ain't gonna fight. It's more pressure over here. It's definitely more pressure over here.
Missing. Why his ass was missing.
Yeah, Big Game James just shut down all of any other points I had on that. So yeah, shout out to Big Game James. Fatality. Where's my fatality button?
Finish him. Yeah, I got this.
Hey, I love being a Cowboy.
Big Game James.
Game changer.
Let's have some fun. Let's have a good time, man. Let's kick it.
Every time I play that, that's what I'm gonna play with it now. Let me get it right. Let me get the timing right. One more time.
Hey, I love being
one more time. This the new clip.
Big Game James.
Game changer.
Let's have some fun. Let's have a good time, man. Let's kick it.
It's the new clip of Big Game James.
Fatality.
Man, that boy. Woo. Golly.
Hey, Holly said it's not about the percentages, guys. It's about the situation. And that fits right in with what Big Game James was saying.
Well, I just was saying pressure. Yeah, you're dealing with Dallas, and there's more pressure. There probably wasn't that pressure in New Orleans because they weren't winning. They were probably losing. Nobody's probably thinking about them like that. But guess what? You come to Dallas, you better make them field goals. You got all that pressure, bud. You can do it all in practice, but you kick it in Dallas, it's a lot of pressure. So, I mean, to me, kickers are a dime a dozen, dog. Like, you can have, I mean, I know what you said about Vinatieri, but those are the rare ones. There's like 1 out of every 500 or 1,000 of those that ever come around that do that, because you can have them kicking so good and then they miss one, and the next thing you know, they miss 5 in a row. You can't never trust them. And when you go up there to kick and it's like 40-something yards, you automatically like, oh, he gonna make that. You don't be feeling that. You be like, come on, make that.
Facts.
I don't care how good he is.
I got something else for y'all too. Check this out, bro. That's encouraging me. I like Dak using his legs, and he looks like he got his clock right in his head. He is truly taking what the defense gives him. He not sitting back patting that ball. You know what I mean? If it opened up, he taking it this year. And his clock looks right. The clock in his head, it looks right. You know what I mean? It looks decisive. Because all of us sat there fussing at our TVs at Dak. Every one of us. Where he would be sitting here and then he would start rolling and he'll be looking around in the end zone instead of taking off. And that's even before he hurt his leg. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
Tell me, am I tripping? Law, am I tripping? Big, am I tripping?
No. The second touchdown that was scored in the playoff game came from the Mississippi State legs, Dak Prescott. He pat the ball, looked around and didn't see anything, and he took it. The craziest thing in a quarters defense, they saying, we'll give you the run. We will absolutely give you the underneath. And by Dak Prescott looking time to find Schultz underneath, he could have ran it for multiple yards and get him out of that look. And those opportunities should be granted to him again this year when they try to give him the underneath. It got to the point where if you guys go back and watch the Denver Broncos tape, I'm quite sure nobody really pointed this out. Them jokers dropped 7. They dropped 7 and said, okay, Cowboys, we triple dare you to run it with Dak Prescott. So they really tested the leg of Dak Prescott, and he refused to run with that said legs. And the blueprint for what they said that was not given was absolutely given, because now they said, okay, we're going to drop these guys, force Dak Prescott to throw the ball underneath. And we know that the type of mentality Dak got is that the same thing that I saw in practice. And the practice mentality was every time Dak Prescott throw that first interception, it seems as if though it get into the psyche or the mind of Dak Prescott. And I'm not giving you guys no Kool-Aid with this. I'm just telling you guys how it is. Dak Prescott got to sometimes get out of the mindset, and sometimes running the ball can open that up for him to get the favorable looks. So heading into the 2022 season, if they drop all of those guys in coverage and you're not safe with thinking throwing the ball deep, then use those Mississippi State legs.
I agree 100% on that.
Yeah, I think that Dak Prescott is going to have the opportunity to show us his health, because I don't think some of these boys will get open. So he's going to have to run the ball, especially at the beginning of the year. So that's what I think. Some of these boys ain't going to be open, so he's going to have to run this ball. So, yeah, we look forward to it, Dak. Hope you got your running legs ready.
And slide right. Slide the right way.
Let me say this. I know you're about to go, boss. I know you're about to go into this point. But one of the things that I was trying to tell people, yes, TJ Vasher looked good on the third team and then moved to the second team. But the reason why he's not getting first team reps, because it's hard for him to get that separation. And we don't have time to say we will throw the ball. Maybe he's open, although he's covered. There's a situation whereas you see Dennis Houston getting quality first team reps with the number ones. Oh, excuse me, you see Jalen Tolbert getting first team reps. But all of those things are makeshift because they are literally somebody, I think I heard on one show how they explain it. They are really hiding CeeDee Lamb by motioning him inside and letting him run from his release points from the slot so that these other guys can have opportunities, and teams the defense on our team is trying to bracket or roll inside, and it's hard to do that. And that's why you get the favorable looks, the one-on-ones with Dennis Houston. But I truly believe that in a real game, they're going to sit back and say, okay, we're going to get out of man, we're going to play zone, and we're going to force this team to beat us with the run. And that's what they should do. But go ahead with y'all points.
Yeah, go ahead, OC. You had something? You was finna say something?
Yeah, man. I mean, no, all I was just going to say, just real simply, is just that, I like what the Cowboys are trying to do in the sense of running the football, because I believe they're going to need to establish the run effectively. And the key to getting these young wide receivers open is going to be that run game, because we're going to need to be able to play action pass because we gain respect running the ball. And that's going to be the key to having early season success with this offense, in my opinion. And if not, then you're going to see a scrambling Dak, scramble drill, and he's going to have to make some plays on the move, man. That's what I think.
Yeah. I'm excited for the Dak legs because I agree with Studi Wood. I think Studi Wood got the comment of the day, where I think the threat of Dak legs is going to also open up some throwing lanes.
Yeah, true.
Because I've been waiting on Dak to use his legs the way that I've been seeing him use them at practice.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to get y'all ready for something that's going to happen, though. The more Dak move the chains with his legs, I'm going to tell you right now, the more he's still going to be nitpicked. Okay?
Right.
Because you go leave some food on the table when you do that. Every now and then when you're decisive and you go move those chains, a receiver will come open that you could have maybe had a touchdown with. The media is going to highlight that. Don't fall for that. Yeah. Look at the drive. Don't look at that play by itself. Look at the drive. Because what matters most is how they finish that drive. So I'm telling you how the media go spin it when it happened. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't use your legs without occasionally leaving food on the table. So y'all get ready for that. No. But I'm excited for it. And I definitely agree with you on the running game. So I want to kind of pivot it real quick to a couple of the receivers. So Noah Brown and Simi. Is this real, or is it real? Because see, I'm watching Noah. What I see that's different is the nuance in the route running. So he already know his quarterback throw a back shoulder. He give him that little hesitation to throw him off, and it works. Makes the cornerback panic and sets him up perfectly. That's a mature route, you know. But the problem is, I'm not seeing enough. Y'all tell me, am I tripping? I'm not seeing enough Noah Brown doing this on first teamers. I'm seeing him eating up second team. He going off on second team, but I'm not seeing no first team reps. I'm seeing the routes though. I do see the routes, but I'm kind of I ain't quite buying it, being honest.
See, I see Law with a strange look on his face, like he don't really want to address this. So
I'm gonna let y'all go first.
I'm gonna go ahead and jump in, Law. I mean, here's the thing, man. My stepfather, he passed away, and he used to make like pork chops taste like steak, but they had like gravy on top. But so if you took the gravy away, you realize you're just eating a pork chop. It's not steak. You're just eating a pork chop. So I think that what happens when you get into team settings and you have to face ones and you face tempo in real game time situations, I think that the gravy gets taken away. And I think that you see what it is, right? That this ain't steak. This is just a pork chop. And I'm not hating. I think that he's definitely improved. I think that he's gotten better. I think he's working hard. I think that he's going to be, in some respects, a good contributor to this team. But, you don't, how can I say this respectfully? You don't, a three is a three. A three is not a one. And I think that, he needs to play well. He needs to practice well, but he's a 3 receiver, man. I don't think he's a 2 or a 1. That's what I think.
Big Big game. James contemplating over there.
Oh no, I don't got nothing to say about Noah Brown. He got 9 lives. I mean, he was drafted
I knew he was gonna say that.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's real.
He was drafted in what round? What round was Noah Brown drafted in?
7th.
Undrafted 7th. Yeah,
exactly,
7th
round.
Yeah.
So we keep on having these aspirations of Noah Brown, and Noah Brown's finally going to break out. Noah Brown's not going to do nothing. I'm sorry, I'm not hating on Noah Brown. Noah Brown's not going to do nothing with the Dallas Cowboys. Flame. Period. It's going to be the same thing when they talk about. Remember when they had Deontay? Who did they have? What was his name? Deontay. What was his name? We got him in 2017, and they cut him after like 3 or 4 games. Got him from the Bears. What was his name?
Oh my God, I don't even know, man. I know you talking.
Somebody tell me in the chat. You know what I'm talking about, though, Law. Man, they was hyping
him.
They brought, he got speed. He got this. He got that. Wah, 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 wah.
Yeah, I'm feeling big.
I remember Reggie Davis and all of
those. It got the smell of hype, dog. It got the smell of hype. I ain't buying it. I'm just not, bro. It's not saying he won't do it either. It's just that I'm not getting hype off practice. I'm sorry. I'm just not.
Talking about practice.
We're talking about practice. That's what y'all got to get that one in there too. Y'all got to get that one in there. We talking about practice.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it tonight, man.
Not a game.
I'm gonna find out tonight.
Yeah. Ooh, that'd be perfect.
Yeah, but one of the things, you guys are making valid points. So just like the same could be said by Simi, when I was out there for those 10 days, Simi caught on like the latter days of the 10 days that I was there, and of course Noah Brown. So those guys have been whooping up the third team, the second team, and occasionally the first team, but majority of the reps for the first team went to an undrafted rookie free agent, Dennis Houston. But let me throw these names out here to you.
Hold on, Law, real quick before you throw out the names. I just want to say I feel a little bit better about Simi, dog.
Oh yeah.
Me too.
Because he's a second-year player. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he big. I feel good. I don't trust Noah. I'm trusting Simi a little bit more. I might be wrong for that, but
no, you ain't wrong.
You feel me on that?
We know what Noah is, boss. We know what Noah is, boss. After we've seen him so many years, we know what Noah Brown is. We don't know what Simi is yet.
Yeah.
So this is, even though it's on third team, you're more excited because he's a big body receiver. He brings a speed element that you like. You want that size that they're talking about. You know, they were talking about hybrid, but you get a lot more excited that he's stepping up because you want that trajectory of him stepping up and being able to play good. So with these preseason games for Simi Fehoko are going to be ginormous.
Yeah. If he carry what he been doing that practice into preseason, he go win the crowd. But what was you saying, Law?
Well, what I was saying, and then of course that relationship need to be heavily with Dak Prescott to Simi. I know that it's been a spoonful of reps, but right now Jalen Tolbert and Dennis Houston is Dak Prescott buddy. So somehow Simi need to get cool with Dak and see if they can play some spades together, roll some dice or dominoes or something, man. Take them out to eat or something so that they can be on that same page like Jalen Tolbert is or Dennis Houston. So go over to his house when they get back to Prosper and have a few sleepovers or something and get on the same page. You got to be stingy and aggressive, kind of like what the playmaker was to Troy. He didn't allow anybody to have their relationship with Troy because that was his guy. So Simi gonna have to be greedy and go over there and say, hey, I want this team rep. That's what Dennis Houston, he wanted something. He stayed after practice those 10 days I was there catching balls and everything. So he's hungry, he wanted. But when the whistle or that last bell ring, Fehoko is darting to the doggone locker room. So he need to be out there more establishing that continuity. And I'm not saying that they don't have it, but these are things that I wanted to bring out, Cowboy Nation, in the panel. Practice was so bad for the Kansas City Chiefs. Listen to these names. Miko Hartman, Sky Moore, I know we was high on him, and Juju Smith-Schuster. Is that a better wide receiver group than ours? they said practice was so horrible that Andy Reid shut it down and said, hey, we can go home. Y'all ain't catching nothing today. Also, news out of Green Bay land, and I know these are different teams, but Christian Watson, their second-year player, he's going to be on PUP. So they rolling out the plan of Allen Lazard to be their number 1 wide receiver. Second will be Randall Cobb and Sammy Watkins. They are having so much of the issues that they're not on the same page. So we may just be a blessing in disguise of what we have with our guys, because we are able to see this team develop that continuity, and our team may be a little bit ahead of those teams with star-studded quarterbacks. What's your thoughts?
Well, I'll just say it like this. Because somebody else got relationship problems, that don't mean I don't too.
True.
You know what I'm saying? That's all. Is, you know, because I see your point. Other people got it bad. You know what I'm saying? You know, but that's one of them things that never feel good to say. You know, like when you having a bad day, right? You having a bad day, bro.
I'm looking at my comments. They flaming me up. Nah, man. Pat Mahomes and Rodgers a whole lot better than Dak, though. Y'all leave me alone with that, man. All 3 of those quarterbacks threw 37 touchdowns last year. Come on, y'all leave my quarterback alone.
Yeah,
just go ahead.
And but your point is true. You know what I'm saying? That it's other teams that's out there suffering. I agree with that. You know, and it's one of those things to where with our guys, this comment right here says it best to me. He says, "I ain't buying none of them." LOL. I'm not mad at somebody who say that, because to me that's saying is I need to see more. You know what I'm saying? And I need to see more. I'm not, practice not gonna do it for me. I need to see these guys stack it in the lights now. I want to see you first start with Denver. I want to get some reports of you eating up Denver. I want to see what you did with Surtain over there. You see what I'm saying? That's what I want. When I see you ate up Denver, and then when they turning them other lights with the Chargers, that's what I want to hear now with these receivers. If I'm not hearing none of that when it's real competition, bruh, let me just tell you, and I'm being real, it's fool's gold, and I ain't buying it. Because because the cameras, I notice how our cameras move in Dallas. It's only highlights. It's not the reality. Because when they was showing us the highlights as you was in Oxnard with your own eyes, we was here with the highlights. I was drinking Kool-Aid until you start talking, dog. You know what I'm saying? Because and you said it just like West Coast, just like Mark, and you said, listen, y'all, highlights, it's not the whole practice. And I just did this. I said back. So that's how I'm with these receivers. I want to see more. What's your thoughts on that?
Man, my thought is, go ahead, James.
Oh, go ahead. I'm chilling.
No, I was just gonna say my thought is just super simple. As I sit back and listen to all you guys talk about it, it's an old term, and Boss Cowboy, you relate to this because me and you both were on the team coach, you know, with the same coach I'm gonna allude to. He said something that stuck with me, and I heard it, and I think I may have heard it from you, but it stuck with me, and I always remembered it, and I heard it when I was a freshman in college. And he said it was simple. He said this: to be the man, you have to beat the man.
Right.
There you go.
Just simple.
That's
to
simple.
Be the man, you got to beat the man.
Yep.
So we don't care how you look in t-shirts. I don't, man. I don't care how you look, man, versus the third team. I don't care how you look versus the backups. I care how you look against starters and the best possible players that we can play. Now you go out there and you put it on some of those dudes. Now you get what we call the big R word, which is respect. And then the second R word that comes with respect is more reps. Respect equals more reps. And so that's just what it is, man. To be the man, you got to beat the man.
No doubt.
All right. So check this out. It was a fight today. It was an old fight. Do I have that fight? Yeah, I had that fight. It's right here. Is this the fight? Why can't hold on? Where the fight at? What'd I do with the fight?
Well, why are you looking for the fight, man? I could tell everybody right now with the wide receivers, the Dallas Cowboys. I truly believe it takes time. And one thing that I don't want people to view this as the Cowboys peaking in August, right? We don't want to peak in September. We don't want to even peak in October. So I don't want that to happen for us. I still want us to continue to learn and grow as a whole unity for this particular group. I know it's different. I want my guy CeeDee Lamb to still develop at that role. And there's nothing wrong, Cowboy Nation, of lining CeeDee Lamb inside the slot. What if I told you, like Ripley's, that Cooper Kupp, believe it or not, played majority of his snaps inside, right? Yeah. To demand the linebacker on him and for them to motion him out to the edge, and they continue to add more and more opportunities for him to get the ball. Isolation is one of the things that the Cowboys need to work on. And I don't think that you and I, Big Game James or the OC or Boss, talked about even Kellen Moore admitted. Did you talk about that on your show independently?
About Kellen Moore admitting what?
That he struggled with going through growing pains of isolation targeting one player. He admitted that. Oh, man, we got to save that for another episode. I'm going to send you that part where he said
I ain't even
he
heard that.
admitted.
Oh, my God.
He admitted that he was going through growing pains, right? So for our expectations for a third year ever offensive coordinator to have it all together, boy, we had to be foolish, baby. But now he's going into
Remember,
his
he's only 33 years old.
He's only 33. Yeah.
Yeah, he's only 33. He took the job at 30.
Yeah. But go ahead, y'all. I just stalled a little bit. Somebody said, no, you're supposed to peak every week. No, trip aces.
Let's show this fight.
Fight.
That's not even no fight. It's a skirmish.
Right.
Man. Yeah. So who's that? The white gorilla?
Yeah, that's the white
Vanilla gorilla, baby.
Yeah. Going against McGovern. Yeah. So McGovern was finishing drive, blocking him down the field. Then he gets mad because he got his butt blocked 6-7 yards down the field. Then he want to push after the play. You already lost, buddy. It's over.
Right.
You got pushed down the field 6-7 yards. Now you want to fight to prove you're a tough guy. I hate people to do that kind of stuff.
But you know what else though? OC, he probably trying to live to that vanilla gorilla thing too now. Since he's got the nickname, you know how they do. You're a rookie. They gave him a little nickname, so now he might want to start trying to get feisty just cause he want to live up to the little reputation. You better do that in them games, vanilla gorilla.
Yeah, and what he needs to do is get his butt down and take a hard step and get through that A gap. That's what he needs to do. And he don't need to do that. He's 10 yards down the field.
A little punch, though.
Look at him.
Yeah, he downfield. Yeah, he lost.
He down
a little punch though.
Yeah, I mean it's a double on him. He got doubled, but
but you got to sink.
You was on skates, big dog. Skates, sir. Skatey. Skate land.
Then he pushed you. Then he pushed you again. Get out of here.
Yeah, McGovern finished you.
He finished. He said, "Get out of here." Sorry.
But the biggest takeaway,
look,
for
you
me.
see him stop. He said, "What?" He said, "What?" He stopped. He said, "What?"
Yeah.
Watch McGovern. Watch him stop.
He
said, "What? What'd you say?"
And it looked like he scratched his eyes. Looked like he scratched him. What kind of mess is that? I'm gonna scratch you.
He pushed his
Y'all leave Ridgeway alone, man. Ridgeway.
Hold on, that look like a scratch right there. Don't you scratching?
Yeah.
That's why McGovern pushed him. He said, "Get up, man."
You scratching people out there? What you?
But my biggest takeaway on the audio was Mike McCarthy. My biggest takeaway was Mike McCarthy. He dropped the F-bomb, and it didn't sound like the Italian sub. It didn't sound like Jason Garrett force cussing. He literally said, "Y'all effing line up and get back to it." And I love it. I love it the way he.
I got it right here.
That.
I can
you got
play
the audio.
it.
Turn it up so we can have
turn it up.
Actual,
we'll hear him cuss a little bit.
Yeah, I want to hear him cuss just a little bit. Come
all
on,
right, man.
Come on, YouTube. Take good care
it.
of me now.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go, coach.
I wish I just saw that more though. I ain't gonna lie, man.
Put some swears in the jar,
See,
man.
Cause it's almost like all of us are parents. Thank you, thank you, Big. Thank you.
Yawn.
I agree, dog. This one we need that cut button. Where that button at?
I got that right here. Hey.
That's what that was.
Yeah.
That's what that was.
Let me address this right quick. My guy Jay Farm says, man, we got a real low number on the likes, so he's informing me to switch over to moderator to members only in the chat until we get those likes up.
I
agree.
agree.
I'm switching over to members only in the chat. So if you're a member, you can only comment in the chat until we get those likes up. Shout out to TJ Farm for enforcing people.
They've been saying that on mine too, man. Like, let's get them likes up real quick, man. And they always do. Every time we ask, y'all get them likes up. But because it's been growing. It's been growing these channels. But with that fight, I felt like Big, man. That was very
boring.
It's one of those. To me, can I just keep it real? This is the indication of how soft training camp was. When that's the highlighted fight, when that's the fight that everybody talking about, oh, it was a fight, bro. This is a skirmish, dog.
That's weak, man. It's like when we got into fights, boss. I mean,
it was fights.
It was grab your face mask, punch you in the face, try to snatch your face mask off, let off some shots, get pulled off, come back, land a couple more shots. You know what I'm saying? Like we kept it like when you almost had to kick us out of practice. It was a real fight. It was a real fight.
I'm just being honest, man. To me, that's telling us that this training camp was soft.
And it was a pretend tough guy cussed by Mike McCarthy.
Oh, that was still pretend. Come on, man, that was pretend.
I thought it was real. I thought it was real. I thought he was aggravated.
It was real.
From a scale of 1 to 10,
it
man,
just
1 to 10, OC.
It was
1 to 10. 1 to 10, what you give it?
About a 5. A 5. It was a little lame. It was.
I give him about an 8.5. Golly,
OC, it's good, boss. Big Game James, man, what you give it, man? 1 to 10.
Yawn.
Where my twerkers at, man? Where my cowboy twerkers at?
You know I got my twerkers ready for my dog, bro. Where my twerkers at?
Big not interested, man. Big like.
Good.
The truth.
Big Game James.
All right, man. Final words. Final words. I'll start it off. Well, we at day 10 of training camp, and it went by fast. It's been a lot of good work, especially from people that made the trips like Law, that lended us his eyes. So he's back, and football is back too, you know. So obviously we don't have just a uniform feeling about all the aspects of this team, but we got to see it get answered. We got to see if these receivers go come through. We got to see if these guys go actually try to stop some runs. I'm going to be honest. You couldn't really get a feel for the linebackers or the trenches too much in this camp. Can I just be honest? You couldn't. One of the main reasons Tristan Hill probably stood out is because he's always hustling. But hustling is not football. That's just one part of football.
Oh, okay, good.
You know, that's just one part. It's important, but that don't show the whole story. To me, they never got turned loose. Can I just be honest? So the only time we go see them maybe get turned loose is maybe Denver, maybe the Chargers. And most experienced coaches have been warning, if you don't turn these guys loose now, you ain't gonna be able to do it during the season. So it's one of those things. Well, we gonna see. But I am excited about one thing without being a Debbie Downer to finish on strong. The thing that I'm excited about though is them dogs up front. You know what I'm saying? And how it's been unanimous about them dogs on the back end. I start in secondary. So when you got a cold secondary with a cold pass rush, man, we gonna have a good season. It's gonna be about how we go close. That's my final word.
And I'll go next. Hey, this has been real interesting, man, watching the development of this team kind of going through training camp for the parts that we actually could see. I'll say two things and then I'm done. I think the offense is a work that is going to be in development. I think that if we commit to running the football, it may not look good the first few games. We may not look awesome offensively the first few games. So I'm going to warn everybody. But I think as the season goes, the commitment to running the football is going to pay dividends, especially as we get later in the year. That's when you're going to see it really pay off. I think this is a top 6 to top 5 defense, and I think that they're going to keep us in games, and it's going to make it real exciting. That's my final word.
My final.
There's no emotions, no friends, no loyalty.
Straight business.
Straight business.
Put hashtag straight business in the chat.
Ooh, I love it.
Hey, my final word is this. Unleash the beast and CD Lamb and Dak Prescott. That's been looking like a great connection. So if we're really talking about that offense, like OC said, and I believe that this offense is going to be behind the defense. Mike McCarthy said himself. We all been saying it because we all know it. Please, Kellen Moore. You just said you had struggling. Oh, you struggled. You had problems. You had things you had to deal with really isolating this receiver. Well, this one shouldn't be hard right here. You see it early, at least on the highlights I've been seeing in the last couple of days. The law been showing some fire ones, and they've been showing some. That CD, the Dak to CD is looking fire. Yeah. So please. Law Nation said himself, CD gonna go nuts. 1,500, 1,400 yards, over 10 touchdowns, 90 receptions. Gonna have a Dez Bryant type year. Yeah. So if we're talking about that needs to happen early, right? That needs to happen early. Week 1 in Tampa. That needs to flood Cincinnati. Y'all need to give the ball to CD Lamb. I don't care if he catch it 10 times, 12 times, 15 times in one daggone game. That connection can win games. So they need to make that happen, and that's my final word.
Man, that was a good final word. Good final word. I love being a Cowboy. I ain't putting up no dog on that, bro. That dog can go. No.
Let's have some fun. Let's have a good time, man.
That was a good final word, bro. The only thing I'm gonna hit you with is
perfect.
Yeah, it was perfect with it, man, and
that was perfect.
Before I go into anything, man, I just want to give a shout out to all of the people who gave donations over here. Smoke 14 for you, appreciate you for the $5 super chat.
Fire.
Coach Mar, appreciate you for the super chat. Smoke Team 14 for you again with another $5 super chat. I appreciate you. And we're gonna give D Well, appreciate you. He says y'all got Big Game James with the BET Uncut for Big Game James. Shout out to you. Lisa, thank you so much. She's a troop, man. She goes to most of the events, Cowboys Experience deals, and I really appreciate you. She donated $9.99 for your mind. She says, I love y'all. We beating. In those words, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Ken Art with the $10 super chat. We haven't won anything significantly. And, hey, what are some of the lesser roles the Untouchables got? Any thoughts? And then we had multiple people with the stars on the Facebook, Turin Gibson, and as well as all of my Facebook people, man. The list is so long. So if I left your name out, charge it to my head, not my heart. I really appreciate you guys for rocking with us on the final word. And the final word is growing tremendously, man. The last episode we did got over 10,000 views. I really appreciate us when we talk about this because people come back to hear the good resources that we spitting out of our mind and our cranium, straight from the dome, baby. We put it out there to the Mecca. Everybody be sitting there echoing baby nuts from Big Game James. They be echoing Boss Cowboys stuff in the OC, man. It's just phenomenal. Our vernacular going all over the world of the Cowboys community, and I love it, man. Straight business. All of the stuff that we put out there, it goes a long way. And yes, I see my guy CeeDee Lamb being that guy, and hopefully Kellen Moore look back at all of the tape and all of the pitfalls and all of the shortcomings that we had last year, and he said, man, you know what? If the LA Rams are able to give Cooper Kupp the ball, God dog it, I can figure out a way to give CeeDee Lamb the ball as well, and running the ball with the formations. When I'm out there in practice, you guys look at the all 11 versus 11 tape, and you will see that the Cowboys implemented the 20 personnel, the 21 personnel, some of the things that we've been talking about doing with Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott in the backfield at the same time. And, of course, mixing in the tight end sets with 12 looks. So I can't wait for this season to kick off. Let's get it.
Let's get it, man. All right.
Dracarys.
Ooh, I love that Dracarys. Yeah. How about that? We're going to add a dragon.
Yes, indeed. We're going to add a dragon to come out when I...
Yeah.
When she said it in that movies, out in those clips, I was like, yeah, she make you want to have some pet dragons. PG-13 version.
Yeah, man.
Come on.
Well, so Big is going to be in Dallas.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna talk about when. We gonna kind of keep it kind of hush. You know what I'm saying? But ooh, that's gonna be fine.
Fire. My dog finna get in Dallas.
Yeah.
We gonna take over Waffle House. Wherever we in,
man, we gonna take over, bro.
Yeah,
so y'all get ready for that. So obviously, when he come down, we gonna have to set up a stream. It's gonna be dope. Y'all already know it.
Yoga fire. Yoga flame.
Back to the motherland,
I got
baby.
some Hennessy flavor Kool-Aid for you, Big Game James.
Oh, please. I'm going to need all that. I'm going to need all that Hennessy Kool-Aid.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hey, Boss, we got to get him some Kool-Aid, too.
Man, we got him. Man, we gonna show out just like we did last time when we filmed this. You know what I mean? Yeah. Except it's gonna be better.
Come on. Too legit. Y'all know we gonna bring the flavor. I'm talking about Laughing Tap.
Yoga fire. Yoga flame.